Welcome back to Bright Reviews. Today we'll be looking at this Smackdown Ruthless Aggression Tag Team Championship belt. This belt is a WWEShop replica that has been fully re-leathered by Immortal Leathercraft Studios and has had a full repaint done by myself. We'll be looking at a side-by-side video comparison between the stock gel resin and this full repaint. Let's go take an in-depth look at the belt. Okay, the Smackdown Tag Team Championship belts were first shown on television on October 3rd, 2002 in an announced tag team tournament. This tournament would have its finals at No Mercy 2002, being first won by Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. Some of the notable tag teams that have held this particular belt are the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, Eminem, Nitro and Mercury, Brian Kendrick and Paul London, Los Guerreros, Chavo and Eddie Guerrero. Less notable team, Deuce and Domino. We also have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Rey Mysterio, who won it with Eddie Guerrero, RVD, and Edge. And it was last held by the Hart Dynasty, Tyson Kidd, and D.H. Smith. Both Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero held this particular title 4 times each, 1 time together, and 3 times with other tag team partners. Okay, throughout its use, this belt remained fairly unchanged. It debuted with black logos, so all these logos were black. Just the 2x5 on each end, there and there. So the white logos were a lot easier to see on television because the black sort of blended in with the blue. You can sort of see some details there. There's some close-ups here. So you can sort of see the when this was originally filled with the resin that came from WWEShop. It was pretty well level with the top there. You can sort of see a bit of a comparison there. These plates are actually quite detailed compared to the original Reggie Parks version. This is the Jamar version, of course. This one has a lot of sort of shallow etching. So you've got that sort of angry looking eagle. He's got a strange looking face. And you've got these sort of inverted crowns where you got the detail on the right is protruding. So you got the squares and the circles there are protruding from the plate. And then the opposite side of the crown, it's all recessed in. You can see just there too. So you can see it's opposite. Well, it's actually the same as the other side. They're not mirrored. And you have the World Wrestling Entertainment banner. So you can see back there. You can see how the text now sort of raises itself out of the off the plates. So when the blue resin was in there, it was like completely flat. So you couldn't see any kind of details there. stripping the resin out just gives you that, just a little bit more detail. You can see just there. So it gives a bit more of a 3D look because this is obviously a very flat plate. You can see how flat the details are on these plates. It's not very deep etched at all. So you got that globe there. So you can see that protruding detail there. And you got tag team, which is also sort of inverted compared to the champions word. So see how you got the tag team lettering is raised on a lowered background. So to see there the detail. And then the champion is almost like a banner. See how it starts with that, this sort of the end of the banner, and then it sort of runs behind the champion lettering. Goes all the way through there. Bring up some of that detail. You can see just there. Each of the letters just pop a bit more once it's resin's been stripped out and it's been repainted. That's the main plate. So I've also got a Eddie Guerrero nameplate. This nameplate was made by Figs Inc. or Wrestling Superstore, as they call themselves now. See the details there. So this is like a sort of like a laser etch. So when you look at the detail a bit closer, see how it's not painted on, it's actually like been etched with a laser. That's created like a sort of like a burn mark into the zinc. So I assume they're made out of zinc. We go under these side plates here. So there's two wrestlers performing like a headlock. Got that WWE logo there. You can also see that bit more of a depth of field there. And you got these plates that are very lightly etched. You can see how there's not much flat plate on the entire belt. There's all etch lines everywhere, like these, looks like almost like shattered glass. More prominent on the side plate there, with that rope border. And on the main plate, you can see it's sort of all those lines coming all the way around. And the outer side plate. So this is where you'll see the most detail. When you zoom in here, see how you can see the real depth of the details. The WWE there. So you can really see how deep those letters are there. And the underscore. Wrestling Entertainment. And on the other side here, so performing like an arm bar. It's obviously different to the other side. You can see the comparison there. The outer side plates are identical. So again, you got that bit of detail there, all the way across. the same on this outer side plate. You can see that detail protruding from the plate. Do a bit of a zoom in here. See just there? All the way through. Looking good. Okay, let's take a look at the leather. So we'll start with the snap boxes. So there's the stamp by Immortal Leathercraft. So you got these like standard Jamar, sort of almost like a bubble texture snap boxes. There's something he used later in his career. He used to do like a smooth texture, and he did those other little stamps there in the corner. Had slightly different spacings on his snaps. Then he had this sort of ornate design pressed into the leather there. Immortal Leathercraft's done an excellent job on this one. Nice crisp details. See all those little fine details of that stamp. And the shell tooling. You can see Jamar used this shell tooling that's got like a sort of indents inside the circle and then sort of like a starburst pattern that shoots off the top. That then goes all the way around the belt. All the way around. Jamar did eventually change from shell tooling to WWF logos. So you can see another stamp there. Immortal Leathercraft. And more of that bubble texture. Zoom into the details there. So normally these are not hand tooled in. They're done with a press plate, just like an aluminium plate that's then put under a heavy press. Then just gets pressed in. All these intricate details here, all the shell tooling will all be done by hand. This will be an individual stamp. Then all the edges are then tooled all the way around the belt. You can see that shell tooling goes all the way around the belt. All the way there. You can see the plates all the way through there. And I'll do some comparisons just here with the, you can see just there the original belt. These belts were taken, these photos were taken at WrestleMania Access. You can see that's the original belt there. There's a comparison. Sort of make out that shell tooling there. So these belts were used from 2002 to 2010. So they had an 8-year run as the Smackdown tag team belts. They were eventually merged with the Raw and Smackdown belts. So you can see just here, you got The Miz and Big Show. Big Show and Chris Jericho. And finally, Tyson Kidd, D8 Smith. Do one last sweep of the belt. There we have it. The Smackdown Ruthless Aggression Tag Team Championship belt. I'll see you next time on Bright Reviews.